What's going on, Sooner Nation? So while we're all having to watch other teams get their commits, the Oklahoma Sooners finally could be having some good news coming up here in the month of July. And honestly, it could be a really big month for the Oklahoma Sooners. You've seen Steve Wiltfong, Greg Smith, and many other insiders across the country favor Oklahoma for multiple recruits. So we got to talk about it. There are a lot of upcoming commits here in the next week. So we're going to talk about Oklahoma's chances there, or at least what I feel like Oklahoma's chances are. So if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that like, hit the subscribe button, and jump in the comments. Let me know what you guys think, because this year has been really wild for Oklahoma. You started off the 2020 cycle with the coaches pretty much being able to run the recruiting show. Then mid-cycle, you hired a GM, you hired a scouting staff, and it felt like Oklahoma's recruiting strategy changed. And one of those guys where Oklahoma really picked up some steam, probably I think it was in maybe late February, early March. That was for Tyler Ruxer, the 6'4", 220-pound tight end out of Lincoln City, Indiana. Now, he got a scheduled commitment for July 7th. So I believe that's going to be Monday. Yeah, and this is going to be potentially a big one for Oklahoma, a good win for Joe John Finley and Ben Arbuckle there on the offense. He's the 488th ranked player in the 247 composite rankings. He would be the second tight end commit here in this 26 class, right behind Ryder Mix. But if you're Oklahoma, you're battling not only the 33 offers that he's gotten, but West Virginia, Duke, Northwestern. So Oklahoma should be able to win this battle. You look at those schools and say, these are teams Oklahoma shouldn't be in a heavy recruiting battle with, but then you just saw Texas Tech go land Felix Ojo. So I guess you can never throw anything out the door. So Tyler Ruxer, upcoming commitment, went to Oklahoma for his official visit on July 13th, took an official visit to Minnesota on June 13th, and then went to West Virginia on June 17th. So he's kind of been around the ringer, but would be a big-time prospect for Oklahoma. His commitment's upcoming on July 7th, on Monday. Zachary Turner, another prospect that Oklahoma is going after, has his commitment set. I think it was on the 5th or the 6th. But then I thought he pushed it out, but it's still showing the 5th or the 6th. So who knows? But that one is upcoming, whether it's this week or next week. You got Miami, SMU are probably the two front runners there. But Oklahoma really wants Zachary Turner, and they're trying to make a late push. I just don't think that late push is really going to be able to come in a big way. But Zachary Turner is a multi-sport athlete. Last year as a junior, caught 58 passes for 933 yards and 16 touchdowns. Helped Duncanville reach a 6A D1 state semifinal round. So, Duncanville doesn't treat Oklahoma too well in terms of being able to land recruits, but it's there. Oklahoma's going to push. Probably not going to be a win. So Oklahoma will probably split 1-1 there. You've got Elijah Golden, the 6'4", 275-pound defensive lineman out of Sarasota, Florida, announcing on July 26th. This one is interesting. He's the 185th ranked player in the 247 composite rankings. Really not any predictions out there for Elijah Golden. He's got 40 total offers, but you're looking at Notre Dame, Alabama, and Oklahoma are the three big schools. Virginia Tech is in there, but I think they probably are the fourth school on the list. Now, for a while, we felt like this was a Notre Dame win. We thought Notre Dame was going to take home Elijah Golden, and it feels like Oklahoma is potentially making things a little interesting, maybe. Alabama, obviously, you can't ever discredit them. But one of the things that you look at when you look at Elijah Golden, really good upside here. You look at his ability to kind of get that first step and his strength, being able to move those offensive linemen. More of kind of I would say a hybrid guy between an edge rusher and an interior guy. Definitely not going to be someone that's going to play the nose tackle, but is a multi-sport athlete. He also wrestles. But in 2024, he was accredited with 61 tackles, 29 tackles for loss, 10 sacks, 8 QB hurries, and a pass breakup in 11 games, and earned Max Prep's Junior All-American second team honors. So took his official visit to Virginia Tech on May 30th, Oklahoma on June 6th, Alabama on June 13th, and Notre Dame on June 20th. So Elijah Golden, it's not 100% set in stone where he's going to go yet. Oklahoma is still pursuing. Todd Bates really wants him. The staff really wants him. And obviously, you need to get some more depth on that defensive line, especially after you've taken a couple losses early. So we'll have to see kind of where Elijah Golden's going to go, but he is upcoming this month as well. One of the other prospects that's incoming for Oklahoma, Jordan Clay, July 11th. So this is one where it's an Oklahoma-Baylor battle is what it seems like, with Colorado kind of being a distant third. 6'3", 200 pounds, the 111th player according to the 247 composite rankings. Really good frame, physical player, great size, able to go up and, utilize that size to come down with the ball. In his junior season, had 41 receptions for 900 yards and 5 touchdowns with an average of 22 yards per catch. Also recorded 1 interception on defense. So, like I said, feels like it's going to come down between Baylor and Oklahoma, which is also kind of the case that you see for Davian Gross. So you have to wonder, if one school lands one guy, does that make it to where the other guy is pretty much destined to go to the other school? Do they split, or can Oklahoma actually land both? I think time will tell. If Oklahoma's able to land Jordan Clay, I think we'll know pretty quickly whether or not Oklahoma is still going to be able to get Davian Gross. But Jordan Clay, phenomenal prospect, would be a great win for Emmett Jones and Ben Arbuckle on the offense. And that one's coming up on July 11th. Feeling pretty good about Oklahoma. I see a lot of people talk about it. Maybe they don't feel good about Oklahoma. I feel good about Oklahoma's chances with Jordan Clay. So take that for what it's worth. I mean, I'm not like an insider per se, but I do talk to kids and talk to people, and I feel good where Jordan Clay is with Oklahoma. Now, lastly, this is a prospect we haven't talked a ton about, but he has been getting predictions from a lot of people all over the place. Sean Calhoun, you got Brian Munson. I believe some of the OU guys have put some guys in for him. Jacob Eberhardt, the 6'3", 200-pound athlete out of St. Louis, Missouri, in Kirkwood High School. This is a Oklahoma, Missouri, Nebraska battle, but he's got a total of 40 offers. Currently the 330th ranked player in the 247 composite rankings. He's been skyrocketing, going to continue to move up in the rankings. Oklahoma's been getting predictions for him. It feels like Oklahoma might be on the verge of getting a Jacob Eberhardt commitment, and that would be absolutely ginormous. Now, I don't believe he has a date currently set, but this is one that I would not be shocked to see pop in the month of July. So make sure you guys are just keeping your guys' eyes peeled, watching this recruitment. And lastly, we got to talk about the 5-star, because he did get a commitment from the one and only Steve Wiltfong just a couple of weeks ago, and that was Jake Krull, the 6'2", 223-pound edge rusher. Yes, this was going to be a battle for Oklahoma between Texas, Florida, and many other teams, Ohio State. But Oklahoma feels like they're going to prevail here. Felt like this one was maybe going to go into the football season, but maybe it won't. Maybe Oklahoma is able to try to close this out in like maybe August, which is kind of like what you saw with Michael Fasusi. I think a lot of people thought Michael Fasusi might take his recruitment into the fall, but Oklahoma was able to get that one closed before the football season. Maybe they'll do something similar for Jake Krull, because you see KJ Ford being crystal balled to go to the University of Florida. So maybe Jake Krull sees that and says, okay, you know what? Florida's going to take KJ Ford. Maybe I'll go lock up my spot at the University of Oklahoma. So a lot of big prospects on the board for Oklahoma in the month of July. This isn't it, though. I mean, there are going to be guys that are going to pop this month that maybe we aren't talking about. So make sure you guys are staying plugged in. Hit that like, hit the subscribe button. Let me know what you guys think about this 26 class for the Sooners. Have a happy 4th of July, and we'll see you all next time.